that they did answer. One, for whatever reason, they did reply, right? They did reply. The non-reply is their interpretation, is a response. So that's number one. The vice president not attending the hearing, they may have a point and say, what makes that any different? Si former President Estrada, hindi naman nag-attend. Si Corona, si Gutierrez, ang dami, hindi naman nag-attend sa any House hearing. Right? Kumbaga, it was brought directly to the Senate. So they may argue that's not a form of disrespect because they did reply, right? That is not a trial. So when you call Attorney Poa, what does the House expect from him? Why do you want him there?
Well, from the point of view of the justice members, most especially the proponent, it was Congressman Tino, right? He believes that Attorney Poa, as then COS of DepEd ba yun or OVP,
Yeah.
played a significant part, even if not through the document, but by action in the utilization, alleged misuse of confidential fund, no? At alam mo, Karina, one thing, sorry,
Karen,
alam mo, Karen,
it's okay,
sorry.
no problem.
One thing that we must understand here, the committee is a collegial body. All decisions are done by way of majority vote. So,
okay.
since ganito yan eh.
Oh, but Representative, but Representative, etong tanong. So Attorney Poa goes there. I'll give you a scenario. He refuses to answer questions. He'll say, I don't believe that this is the forum. Right? Let's say hypothetically, you have to remember they have a defense strategy. I mean, I don't know what it is, but what if Michael Poa will be used as a witness in the trial proper? Because you yourself said he was in a position then, right? During that time, he knows where the funds were spent. So he may not be one of the lawyers in the hearing, in the trial proper, but they could use him as a witness. We don't know that. But by bringing him there, o sasabihin ng kasamahan mo, we will cite you in contempt for not responding. So that's when this gets blurry. He can choose not to respond. He can choose not to cooperate because it could be a part of the strategy. This is why ang tanong ko, what is the role of the members? You know, he can choose not to answer.
The members are
but you know what? A
investigators.
person can choose not to respond. It is within the right of any person to choose not to respond because that is not a trial. Kaya yan yung tanong ko eh. Aren't you already crossing the line at this point by you're actually, ang pinapasabi na nyo are probable evidence, ha? Nandun na kayo eh. So, yan ang tanong ko. Okay, what if Attorney Poa refuses to respond? Can you cite him in contempt? Oh, that's a basic question. Can you?
He has to cite the ground for refusing to respond.
Okay, so a possible response, Mr. Chair, I cannot respond because this will be part of the evidence in the upcoming trial. By responding, we will be handing out our strategy. As a team, we have decided not to respond in this hearing. O paano kayo ngayon?
Because they are not recognizing the constitutionality of
Not
the proceeding.
necessarily.
Is that the reason?
They can say, we recognize this, but I am limited. I cannot give out details. O
Well,
paano yun?
it will depend on the members of the Justice Committee. May rules tayo. Inciting
But how far can you go?
resource
Yan ang
persons
tanong.
in contempt, no? It
Okay.
will depend on how the justice members will be reacting to the failure or refusal of the resource person or the witness to respond.
Because let's say you cite a person in contempt, di i-detain nyo, ipapakulong nyo. Hindi ba trabaho na yan sa actual impeachment trial? Parang you are really acting like a court. That's my question. If you go this way, I have another question. You bring in the SAL-N of the Vice President, right? That Representative Redon says increased by 100-fold. I'm reading it right now, okay? Which is fair, okay, that her SALN increased from 2007 to 2005, I believe. Yun ang contention. Okay. The SALN in itself is not a crime, right? But she has to defend how her SALN increased. O eto tanong ko, ma'am. By defending it in the House, is not that already a trial?
He is part of the investigators, and it is incumbent upon him to know the truth behind these allegations. It could be belying the allegation in the complaint. It could be proving the allegation in the complaint. So itong mga searching questions, no, which will be raised on the basis of this SALN by Congressman Ridon, will have no certainty yet as to its result, diba? So what is being done here really, or what will be done by the investigators, or the questions to investigate whether there is basis really enough to constitute probable cause in the allegations in the complaint. Remember, Karen, na-declare siyang sufficient in form, na-declare siyang sufficient in substance, na-declare din siyang sufficient in ground. Under the rules,
so
and
why
even
not send it to a vote already? It's already been declared sufficient in
because
grounds.
it is in
Why
the
not
rules?
send it to a vote? That's the
Because
question.
it's in the rules.
Because
And the
then
rules
you have
provide for a hearing proper.
okay,
What are we
but
supposed to do?
But ma'am, isn't this also an opportunity for grandstanding to actually
No.
elongate the hearing? You know,
No.
instead of the vice president having her day in court in the Senate. And frankly speaking, I'm being objective here. These are legitimate academic questions that are now being taken up by law students if the House Justice Committee is going overboard. Yun yung tanong in classes today.
How can we be overboard if what we're doing are all in the rules of impeachment, which has been the rules since the past impeachment processes, no? And how can we do away with this process when it is provided under the rules that we're supposed to conduct a hearing proper, to issue subpoena, to question the witnesses for us to be able to be guided? Kung may probable cause ba o wala. I was discussing this with the justice members yesterday. Anong sabi ng mga justice members? Kung hindi tayo mag-hearing proper, kung walang presentation ng evidence, kung walang issuance ng subpoena, how else are we going to determine the existence or non-existence of probable cause? And no way that we will be deviating from the rules, because we are really admittedly being very cautious after what happened in the first impeachment. I think the justice members are all very careful to make sure that we follow strictly what are provided in the rules. Ang sabi ko before, dun sa one of our hearings to Paulo Marcoleta, everything that I am saying is in accordance in the rules. Well, at least in as far as what is happening in the justice proceeding is concerned, no?
Yes. I think that one is clear. You have really shown that yourself. You have been cautious. You have been extra careful, right?
Correct.
Okay, with you yourself as chair in how you are handling it, I don't think that's a question because it's a live coverage. We're all seeing it. But here's a good one for you. So let's say the SALN is subpoena. Dumating ang SALN. Tatanungin nila, please explain why the vice president's assets has increased in the last so and so years. Basic question, right? Where did the vice president get her income, her wealth? Sasagutin kayo. Madam Chair, we will present the proof of the vice president's increase in income when we reach the trial proper.
Well,
Paano
again,
ba yun?
it will depend on the justice members how they will react to that answer of the witnesses. But I think it's only the vice president who can answer really in matters concerning the SALN, no? Kasi siya lang naman ang may personal knowledge dun sa SALN eh. she will continue not to appear in the justice hearing. I don't think that the members will have the opportunity even to ask that question. It cannot be asked from the other witnesses because it is the vice president who files the SALN. So she and only her has the personal knowledge about the preparation of that SALN.
Okay, Madriaga, of course, you have made sure there was a vote that Madriaga be called, right, to the House hearing. And Representative Shell Diokno actually made it clear that he was worried already for his safety, right? And you said you would guarantee that safety, which is quite fair. So when Madriaga arrives, right? And he is questioned. So I can imagine how hearings go. Tatanungin, anong alam mo? May personal knowledge ka ba dito? Etc. Right? So he would obviously state what he would claim to know or what he knows. The question is this. The team of the vice president, are they allowed? They're not allowed to correct him, right?
You're asking about...
Let's say Madriaga speaks and says, nakita ko ginawa to ni Vice President. Halimbawa lang po to. Pinapatay niya to, ginawa niya to, inutos niya to. So he's speaking. What can they do? Because obviously you will ask these questions. None of us will know if he's speaking the truth or not until it reaches a trial proper. And the senators will ask, as judges, can cross-examine him. Kasi are you allowed to cross-examine in the House
with all due
Justice
respect,
Committee?
with all due respect, Karen, no? Perhaps it is a special skill of an investigator or even a senator judge to know really whether the person is speaking the truth or otherwise, no? So I think it is quite unfair to say that the only time when we will know when he is really speaking the truth is pagdating ng trial, because we cannot tell if this congressman in the Justice Committee have that special skills, no, similar to a well-versed prosecutor, that he can really tell this man is telling the truth, this man is telling a lie. No, it depends on the person raising the questions. It's actually a special skill that is distinct to the members of the Justice Committee. I cannot tell that all of them have that kind of skills, but at least whatever will happen in the presentation of Madriaga will help them decide about the existence or non-existence of probable cause. And let us also consider the fact na itong probable cause naman, this is not guilt beyond reasonable doubt. This is not substantial evidence. This is not preponderance of evidence. Ang sabi sa mga decisions on impeachment, by probable cause in the impeachment process, it only means justification to proceed to trial. No?
I think we are one with that. That's why many are asking, why not just proceed to trial? Even the defense team of Vice President Sara Duterte is asking that. Bakit pinapahaba?
Remember,
kasi if sufficient na informed, substance, and in grounds, ano pang dahilan para hindi yun magka-probable cause? Kayo na mismo ang bumoto na sufficient na may grounds. So ano pa ang ang tanong nila, ano pang hinahanap nila? Sila na nga mismo bumoto na sufficient na to in grounds.
Okay, let me explain that. When we conducted our hearing on the determination of sufficiency in form, what we are trying to see is whether my verification, under oath of verification, may accompanying resolution ang House member at under oath of resolution. That's the parameter. Pagdating sa sufficiency in substance, we are supposed to confine the determination to the complaint and its attachment. The parameter is whether the recital of facts constitute an offense determinative of the jurisdiction of the Justice Committee. No? So it's the complaint that is the basis. Pagdating ng ground, we are supposed to evaluate the responsive pleadings, no? Pag sinabi natin responsive pleadings, you have to read and study the answer. if this is responsive to the allegations of the offenses and grounds. Nasagot ba ng answer ng Vice President ang mga aligasyon doon sa complaint? Apart from this answer, we're supposed to study and evaluate as well the reply, which is the answer to the answer, and the rejoinder, which is the answer to the reply. However, natapos na nga sa answer. Kasi nag-waive na ang ating complainant because ang sabi nila, wala naman palang sagot yung answer, so we will not be filing a reply. In other words, dito sa ground, hindi lang tayo nakakonfine sa complaint, we are considering as well the responsive pleadings, and that includes the answer. No? Pagdating ng fourth, the difference, Karen, is under the fourth step, we are supposed to weigh, study, scrutinize, listen, and evaluate the evidence presented by the complainant and the evidence presented by the defense or the respondent before we come up with our decision whether or not may probable cause ba, no? Pagdating naman ng probable cause at in the affirmative and naging decision, that's where the transmittal will happen and the full-blown trial or the real trial will happen, no? Again, I do not want to be misquoted again. What's happening in the Justice Committee, yun ang ginamit na terms sa rules. At to your question, Karen, bakit pa kayo mag-hearing proper? Bakit hindi pa dalhin nyo na lang doon sa Senate? Total, may sufficiency na in form, in substance, and in ground. Eh, paano yung rules? What if we accused of violating the rules? Diba? That's one. Eh, ang liwanag sa rules, conduct hearing proper. And if we skip this process, definitely, we are a perfect subject matter of another petition to the Supreme Court. Diba?
Okay. So,
pangalawa, I just want to re-echo what the justice members are saying. We are mandated to determine probable cause. How do we do this kung walang hearing proper? How do we do this kung walang presentation of evidence? How do we do this if we will not examine the evidence of both parties? And remember, this subpoena is also provided in the rules of impeachment. That's part of the compulsory process of the Justice Committee.
Okay, all right. So you've made that quite clear. Now, I have a question with what you've said. You've said that once the House Justice Committee makes a decision, if there's probable cause, it's transmitted to the Senate. Does that mean that with this process, hindi na ito dadalhin sa plenaryo tapos may 1/3 vote? Or dadalhin
Dadaan
pa rin?
of course, sa
Okay.
plenary. Okay.
Oo,
So,
dadaan pa rin.
this is what's gonna happen, no? After the hearing proper, the justice members will vote whether or not there is probable cause. The required number of vote is majority of all members. Hindi majority ng present, ha? Majority of all members. That is different from simple majority. Now, if the vote is in the affirmative, we will be preparing a resolution. Attached is an articles of impeachment, which we will, along with the committee report, all of them together will be transmitted to the plenary. I will be reading the report. I will be defending the decision of the Justice Committee. Tapos, perhaps there will be some question and answer that will happen in the plenary until the members of the House vote on the approval or non-approval of the committee report along with the resolution and the articles of impeachment. But the thing is, the required number of vote is at least 1/3, no? I lost count kung ilan na kami, pero I've been hearing 106 daw ang 1/3. So perhaps we have 308, we are 380 now in number, no? So ano bang consequence? Pag hindi mo na-achieve yung 1/3 vote, at ang committee report mo is existence of probable cause, that is tantamount to dismissal. Pero pag na-achieve mo ang 1/3 vote doon sa committee report about the existence of probable cause, it means that the articles of impeachment will be immediately transmitted to the Senate for trial.
So technically speaking, I mean, this is both a legal and a political exercise. We know that, right?
Precisely, Karen.
Yes, but at the end of the day, I think you and I admit that to send this to the Senate is a numbers game. It's a numbers game.
Okay.
Because you may find probable cause, but then hypothetically, if times were different and it was a Duterte supported house, then it may be dismissed. Kahit na may probable cause, they can vote not to send it. But if hindi, without reading it, they can also say, let's send it. Kasi 1/3 is very small. That's not
Correct.
allowed. That's not majority.
Correct.
So I think we agree on that this is political too at the end of the day, that it's a numbers game. So my next question is, can the House, because technically you are already gathering evidence. That's what you're doing. Nagsasabi na kayo, you asked for the video, which of course we've all seen, right? Let's say they ask, what was the motive? Is that allowed? Let's say, what was the motive of the Vice President in threatening, ba't niya nasabi yun, etc. She is not there. She won't be there. What happens with that video that nasabi na nyo, that's actually all over? Do the House Justice Committee members say that that constitutes as a ground, that constitutes as evidence? Because I'm curious, what power do they have, really?
So